Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Thank you for tuning in. It's been a while since we have done the daily recap on commodities, gold and silver, platinum, and so on, and a few ETFs. As always, follow me on Twitter, on YouTube. I highly appreciate every single one of your subscriptions. And yeah, let's dive deep into the stuff here. It's been a while, as mentioned, so we have quite a few days to cover. Silver looked absolutely fantastic last time we looked at it. It still does longer term, of course, but we have this beautiful candle right here. And ever since for the past, oh, this is the weekly, excuse me. Let's go back here. You can see here we had the big run up here. And ever since we have just been dribbling down all the way down here. So I think right now we're going to at least touch the 22.1, 22-ish in that area before we find any bottom. We're not oversold or anything yet, so there is some downside room still for silver. Long term, yes, it looks good. These big breakouts just takes a lot of time before it happens. The only downside now is that we are below the 30 weekly moving average, which is not ideal for the long-term investors. So it is what it is. So we might need a few months or so before we can start to see if we're closer to a breakout or not, which I think we am at some point. What I'm looking at for gold, quite simple. This is the inverted head and shoulders that I'm looking at here. We had the bearish pennant here, breaking down into the head, and then all the way up to the blue neckline here. You can see the tops right there. And then we are making the right shoulder right now until proven otherwise. We did break below what I thought was the support here from the head. So that's not ideal, but still we are trying to make the right shoulder, but I don't want to see it going that much lower, to be honest, because then you have kind of a skewed or imbalanced inverted head and shoulders. But still, this is what we're looking at. Long term, gold looks absolutely fantastic, as you know. Nothing much to say. We have 3 tops here, and now we're just taking some time to break it on the 4th try into Q4, roughly, in this year. So gold, nothing wrong with gold. This is the gold to silver ratio. This by any means doesn't look fantastic at all. We were down here, and where I said that this is really looking like we are trying to break down here. And then we had 2 surprises with the GDP and something else that I cannot remember, which had a huge boost in the dollar. So yeah, this move here is not good for gold and silver. You can see it breaking out here. Let's see what happens once we retest it. But yeah, this is not ideal. And that's also what you could see on the gold and silver chart. They looks like they want to take a bit longer time to really do something to the upside. The overall play is the same. There's nothing new. We have the broadening structure here all the way up. And yeah, but this is for the bulls. If you're a bull on the dollar, this is a great move. And we need to see what happens in the retesting, which will happen at some point in time. The Dixie, however, let me show you the Dixie. Right, there it is. I have this view on this broadening blue. And now we're into this long-term, well, not long-term, shorter-term resistance, the red one here. There it is. There it is, the breakdown, retest. And every time we have hit it, we have been pushed back. So let's see who wins here. It could go either way with this being a fake out to the downside. And then we run up here. But for now, we're still, I'm still bearish. If we clear the golden resistance here, then I turn more bullish on silver. Excuse me, on the dollar. But until then, we have to wait and see. We can go to the 4-hourly. Maybe this is a double top. Maybe. But again, we have to wait and see. The 10-year rates. We had a big move here. A big move popped here above the 4%, and now we're way back down again. And if this is a fake breakout, then again, I think the dollar will also roll over if this one starts to dribble down here. But yeah, let's wait and see. I think we'll need this week to confirm it. But for now, this is not a very good move for the 10-year. What is a good move is the Bitcoin chart. Actually, we've been looking at this for a very long time, and we were aiming for this touch right here on the long-term green support trend line coming up from here. And look at today's price action. 3% is a big bounce. Again, we need to clear roughly the highs here before we can start to say, all right, this is a very good move. But this is a very good start, at least if you're a Bitcoin bull. And I think if we can clear this structure right here and getting above, then we have a move up to at least 35,000. And potentially the inverted head and shoulders here, which is at 41K, excuse me. So a good start. Again, I think Bitcoin moving today when everything else is down more or less. As you know, for me, Bitcoin is the liquidity indicator that I use. So for some reason, liquidity is coming into the system. I don't know what the banks are doing, but still, this is how I see it, and this is how I use Bitcoin every day to see if there's money going in or out of the system. Palladium, boring. We're still in the structure here, 1, 2, 3, 4, which I believe is a 5 at some point here. Again, nothing much to say. We need to clear the bullish wedge that is going down from here. Until then, don't do anything. We have platinum. Let me just quickly show you the long-term trend line, which we have coming down from here. Support, support, support. And now we are testing it again quite quickly, which is not good at all. So we will see how the 900K level holds and how it holds up before we can start to say anything. Usually the 900 dollar level has been a quite good support. But let's see what happens here today, or in this week and the next week to come. Yeah, nothing much to say. Let's see what happens if we break down here. Copper is just whipsawing everyone at the moment. You can see it here. We had an internal breakdown of the green support. There it is. And now we're broken down, coming into the longer term golden. And then we will see. We had a bit of a fake out here. It looks very good. And then we rolled over. So the last stance to me is roughly this golden trend line here. And then we have some support down below here, as you can see right there. But still, breaking down of this long-term golden trend line is not ideal at all. So we will see. But this looks very, very bad for copper. Yeah. Oil, however, I have been and still am calling for a move all the way down here to roughly 75, 76K, give or take. And let's zoom in on the 4 hourly. Actually, the 1 hourly, that might be more appropriate. As you can see, we have, this is the rail that I have drawn here. Touch, 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 fake out to the downside. And again, I thought today that we were going to break down heavily. But for some reason, the bias came in big time and railed all the way up again. So the only way to negate my thesis that we're going down to retest this golden trend line here is if we can clear, maybe on the weekly basis, above this level here at around 63.4. That's the only way. For now, I'm bearish. If we clear it and hold it close above weekly basis, it's a different scenario. Look at nat gas here today, guys. Actually, fantastic. We have the cup and handle pattern here, and we're trying to break the neckline. Let's call it a neckline for the cup and handle. Looks fantastic. That gas is very strong, just as what oil was today. This is the Dutch natural gas. You can see here we are on the verge of a major breakout. I'll just go to the Heiken-Ashi candles. It's much more easy for you to see. You can see it all the way across here. There it is. Trend line, and we are going to break here. Nat gas is in for a big run, in my view, all the way up to $4, more or less. That's my take. That's the full move that I have for nat gas. And again, looking at oil, which also did very well. Energies again did quite well today, even though the opening was very bad. XOP, just look at the move here upon this breakout, retest, and then boom, all the way up. I think we'll go to this one here as we've been talked about previously. And then we'll do some sort of retrace, and then we'll go again. Because there will be tons of sellers in this area, in my view. But just look at the stunning technicals. It's beautiful. OIH, still, oops. Did I just invert it? Yes, I did. Excuse me. We have broken out of this long-term red box here. And now we have retested it, the upside, and then we had a big day today, actually. Well, not a big day, but 0.6%. The candle is big compared to all the others. But let's see. Let's see. It looks very exhausted. Let's remove my pretty face. You can also see that the RS go away. The RSI here is way overbought, but still sloping down. So let's watch what happens there. It depends on what oil is doing. Lithium, lithium looks absolutely fantastic long term. Look at this bull flag here. It just needs more time. I got stopped out last week on my entry, and now I have actually drawn in the nominal scale trend line. You can see here, the dotted one all the way around here. You can see it there, there, and there, just to see where, if it were to retest, and we actually did that today. So instead of retesting here on the log scale, we are now retesting on the nominal scale right here. So I'm looking for how it acts here over the next week or two, and then I might get an entry again. But today's price action was very good for the lithium miners. XLF, just very quickly, we are struggling with the false breakout here, and we're into the bear flag again. So as long as we are in the bear flag, especially below the golden trend line, here it is, you can see we're still below, then it's all bearish for the banking sector. We have the dollar against the Swiss franc in a bear flag still, waiting for the breakdown, obviously. There it is. And yeah, if we break down here, that's where gold and silver will start to move again. So we have, because this ratio or this, what's it called, currency pair is the one that tracks invertedly gold the most. So this breaking down is positive for gold. But until then, we have to wait and see. We have to wait for the breakdown and confirm the bear flag. NVIDIA is also funny to sketch. We had the big gap here, as you know, bearish wedge all the way up here, and we have broken down now, and now we are in also a bull flag. So this is a fight between the bulls and the bears. But I do think ultimately this bad boy, this gap here will get closed. Can we go way higher before that? Yes, we can, of course, but still, I think until we have broken out of this bull flag here, yeah, I don't know. It's difficult to say, but this will close in my view, and this could be a great entry if we close it all the way down here at some point. The Brazilian ETF, let me zoom out. Fantastic investment for the next decade. Just look at this bad boy here. You know it. There it is. Long-term golden trend line all the way down here. Let me zoom in on the daily. I'm just going through quickly today. We are some sort of retesting it here, depending on what you look at, but we are retesting it here, I think, and just waiting for the perfect entry. That's my take. You can also, yeah, that's how I look at it. But when it goes this one, that's also when the dollar rolls over, in my view. And yeah, Brazilian will be amazing for the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years. Nickel on the log scale. Look at this. This is nickel. Maybe I can go to the normal candles. Yeah, that's fine, actually. Double bottom still, struggling with the breakout here. And if we do, then I expect a higher move. And then, again, this long-term golden trend line coming all the way here has yet held, as you can see right there. Let's wait and see. Oh, the silver miners, the ETF or the sector that for me is the most difficult to chart. So I have just made it like this. This is my view, and I am bearish until we get close to this rail up here. You can see it coming down. Until we get up here and starting to break out, I am I would say bearish, yeah. And we have the horizontal line here. So this, it doesn't get more simple as that. Again, the GDXJ, the juniors, until we break here, in my view, I'm just going to stay neutral and do nothing. I have my positions in, so obviously this one is not good if we start to curl down further. But yeah, let's see what happens. So this is quite a simple way to look at it. I think we have this broadening structure, and we could just wait for the breakout. Nothing more, nothing less, in my view. Good. That's all I had for today for the commodities and some ETFs. Great day for oil, big intraday reversal. Excited to see how we close the week. Can we get above the 83.6 or whatever it is? Then that would be great. That will also help uranium, which I will do a uranium recap right now after this one. So please look into that as well. And yeah, if anything, let me know in the comments below. Good or bad, I'll take it all. Have a great day, guys. Cheers.